Good morning, Evans Park and Franklin Avenue, and welcome to another fun project with Mr. Price. I was digging around in my art supplies and all of my recycled boxes and containers, and I came across the egg carton, and I thought it would be a fun day to use this and create a project with it. So what you're going to need will be this cardboard egg container. If you have the styrofoam one in white or blue, it works just fine. You're going to need some paper. You'll need some paintbrushes if you have them, some paint, and if you don't have paint, you can use crayons, colored pencil. That's great. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your egg carton and you want to cut off right in between and get two of the egg containers together like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape it a bit and get all of the extra pieces of cardboard off. These egg containers are great. You can do so many things with them. You can put dirt inside this, and you can plant seeds and watch them grow. And because this is biodegradable, you can put this right into the dirt, and the roots will just grow right through it. You can use this to put all kinds of little art supplies in, like beads or little buttons. I know a lot of people take this and they cut it and they make little caterpillars. Alright, so do you see how I trim that a bit? Now I want to make sure that I can lay that down onto my paper and it lay flat. And mine is a little bumpy, so I'm going to trim it here. Okay, it's pretty good. Alright, so boys and girls, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this right into the center right there. And if you do not have a hot glue gun, you can use Elmer's glue and give it 10 to 20 minutes to dry before you move on to the next step. Alright, so boys and girls, I let the hot glue dry. And now what I'm doing is I'm just giving the egg container a coat of white paint. I'm doing something called priming my surface. Now I know I talked to some of my other grades about priming. But priming is when you put white paint or a base color on top to kind of smooth everything off and get your surface ready for the color. So there are the eyes, they're ready. And what I did, I don't know if you can see it, I put some white paint onto the white paper. And what that does is it's gonna help make the paint glide around my paper a bit better, and it's just going to give me what I like to call a looser surface to work on. Okay, I'm going to take just the tiniest drop of orange and the tiniest drop of yellow because I want to make a flesh tone. I mean, your flesh tone could be green, it could be purple, it could be red, it doesn't matter. You're making art, be creative, experiment, and explore. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to create the shape of a head. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to make kind of a cartoony looking face. But one trick is when you go to make a face, always make the eyes in the middle of the head. Because the human face, if I move down so you can see my head, starts up here. And if I measure the space from the top of my head to the bottom of my chin, my eyes go approximately right in the middle. So portrait artists who draw faces know that. So even when they go to do cartoons, having an understanding of how to draw the human face allows you to exaggerate it. And that's why those cartoon faces always look so great. I love what I have here so far, and I just want to check. If I use my I'm going to use a pencil here to measure. So the length of my head is about the size of a pencil. And I would say that the eyeballs are right in the middle of that pencil. So I have a good proportion for my head. I might make my head just a tiny bit bigger up here. Just smooth it out. All right, I'm gonna give that time to dry, and then I'm going to add my next layer. All right, so boys and girls, I gave that a few minutes to dry, and now I'm gonna work on the pupil of the face. So I'm gonna take a small brush here, and I love these colors, nice and bright, and I think I'll take the green today. And I'm just gonna fill in that outer circle with some of the green. Look how cool that looks already. Looks like his eyes are moving. I'm gonna take some green here. Having the right size brush really helps you out. Now, at this point, I can take a little black and I can fill in that little part of the egg container. Just like that. And now I'm going to take some black with my thin brush, and I'm going to start adding some of the features on the guy's face. So I'm going to put in some eyebrows. I'm going to add a black line just over his eyes, just to add some dimension. I'm going to go in add a little nose. You know, I probably could have just made a circle there if I wanted for a nose. I'm going to go in and I'm going to move his mouth off to the side because he sees something and he's thinking about it. And I'm going to add a little black around the ears just to pop them out. And I'm going to go in, add some black around the chin and the neck, and go a little bit up by his ear. Now I'm not going to put the black up here because I want to put his hair in. So if I put that black line, I'm afraid you might see it. You know what I need to do, boys and girls? I'm looking at this through the camera, and I think I need to add a cheek line to add some definition. So I'm going to first bring that line down and put an indication where his earlobes are. And I think I'm going to add two little curves. I put this line here and this line here. I love that. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is rinse my brush, and putting those little black lines on the sides of his face, it's going to give me the opportunity to warm up some of that peach with some of the red. I'll show you what I did. I took a drop of red, mixed it with that skin color, and lightened it up with some of that pink to give it a rosy flesh tone. And I really should probably let that black dry, but I'm going to go in and just feather in. Do you see what I did? I added just a little bit of pink to give him some rosy cheeks and some life. I also think, now that I look at it, I'm going to take my black, and I think I'm going to go around the eye a bit and kind of go under and around the egg carton just to help pop that out a bit more. Yeah. I also think I'm gonna put a little rainbow right here, and a little dot to indicate where his chin is. All right, so I'm gonna give this a minute to dry, and then we're gonna work on the hair. All right, I gave this a few minutes to dry, and now I'm gonna work on the hair. I think I'm gonna pick up my big, wide paintbrush here, and I think for this guy, I'm gonna give him some yellow hair. So I'm gonna load up my brush in yellow. I might pick up even just a drop of orange and a drop of yellow, just to add some highlights and lowlights into this guy's hair. And I'm not gonna think too much about it. I'm just gonna go in. I'll start with the hair on. Wow, I already love that. Look at that. I think I'm gonna leave him bald on top. Just, if you see what I'm doing, I'm not drawing every individual hair. I'm just adding brush marks to indicate where his hair is. Now this is important. A lot of boys and girls forget to do this. You should make your hair grow past your ear on your picture too. That's the hair on your temple, and that always gives it more realism when you bring the hair down. Look at that. And I think I'm gonna take just a slightly smaller brush, dip into the black. I should let that dry, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just add just a few black lines to pop it out. Do you see why I didn't put that black line on his head when I first started? Because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. Sometimes in art, you create as you go. And I think I am now gonna put that line across like that to create the top of his head. And I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna feather in just a little bit of color in the background, and I'm gonna call this picture done. All right, so I put my blue background in, and I think he came out great, and I want to show you, I did a different guy here with the same techniques, but this time I just changed some of the color. And one thing I did here was on this one, I glued some googly eyes into the center of the egg cartons, just to make it look like his eyes are moving a bit more. So you can see that you too can have fun using some of the recycled materials that you have laying around your house. And I'm gonna save these for maybe some more faces, or I might invent something new. And I also see that I have the top of the container, which I'm gonna think about what I can use this for. So boys and girls, tune in next time. We'll have another fun project. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try. And if you did do the egg carton eyeballs, please send me a picture. Have mom and dad send it to me at pricet@pearlriver.org. And thanks for watching. See you next time.